Hey, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to just try and be quite sentimental for a moment and introspective. And I just want to think about women and what it means to be a woman from a male's perspective. I can't speak for women. I can speak to the effects of women. I can speak to the history of women. I can speak to all the things that are outside of women, but I can't actually speak to what being a woman's like. Because woman is the yin to the yang. Woman is the light to the dark. Woman is the thing that joins together with another and creates a triangle of people, like three people, a triangle of energy. Woman is pagan. Women are in alignment with the moon and the cycles of the moon with their menstruation. Like, this is something that is like deep with that. It's like, if you've ever seen the Dark Crystal, they talk about the is that actually the Dark Crystal? Where they talk about the old magic. No, it's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Narnia. That's what it is. The old magic. Remember when Aslan says to the witch, "Back off, witch, this is older magic than you," or something to those kind of lines. I feel like womanhood is about that. It's pagan. It's ancestral. It's the oldest of old feminine old energy is the crone that sits at the mountains, the crooked sharp mountains with the mist and the green, and she stands there for all woman. That was a strange little. Being a woman is tribal. It's blood, it's bones. Like when a woman has a baby, their bones spread apart, their hips move, and their weight like distributes in different parts of the body than a man. It has to be able to solidify in a sense so that it can create breast tissue so that it can nurture babies. And women are psychic because they have this psychic unborn connection to this little baby. A man can have this too, because a man is of that creation. A man can join in and have everything in the same way with the child that a mother can. But a mother is the one that makes sure that child can get to being able to walk and feed for itself. That's the mother. So woman to me is a natural thing of nature. It is not kind necessarily. Like menstruation and is painful, childbirth is painful, women's problems are painful. A lot of the things that women actually have to deal with in life are painful. They have different cancers that need different hospitals and different wards for them. They have gender specific ailments that affect them from being little. Because remember, a woman starts off as a little girl. And then she grows, and as she grows and goes through puberty, and her body changes, and then she has to learn what that means, because up till that point she's been able to be just the same as a boy. And then everything changes for a girl. Everything changes. Hormones kick in, they start developing, then all of a sudden, and this is where the really big change happens, they all of a sudden are aware that boys are aware that they're a girl. They get lewd. Boys, I'm talking about, especially when you're prepubescent and you're growing up, they have to deal with their bras being pulled, sexual comments made about them. They get boys do too. I'm not saying it's all just one, but I'm talking about women. It's a challenging thing for a young woman to grow up to become a young lady, or a girl into a young woman. And then you get into womanhood where you have to always be responsible for your family. and your family's nurturing. This is something that we don't talk about enough with women, is the emotional nature of women. You can feel however you want in your brain, but actually women come from a place of heart, not mind, because they have to function and provide for a partner and their children and their societal obligations and their families and their own parents and their conditioning. And girls, it's a lot different. The experience for a woman and for a girl and for a lady is a lot different than it is for a man, even a gay man. Even with all the shit that I've ever gotten in my life, and I have gotten, it's a no comparison to what even one girl on this world goes through. Femininity is just a construct. Femininity is actually a deeper thing that runs within. Femininity is like is I don't know. I needed to think about that better. Because it's like we put labels on things and we put social constructs on things, and it's like people take even stereotypes of what you wear as clothing. Like what even like girls and boys wear as clothing. It's all just a construct. You're just swapping one construct for another construct. It's all just, like half the world is woman, half the world, and then half of that world, I would even say 2/3 of that world, of those women are working their ass off from day to day, skin to the bone. In a lot of cultures, men sit around talking about philosophy all day, and the women do all the work. And I've seen that a lot in my travels all around the world. Women work their ass off, and they're fucking responsible for everything. That's what I've seen. And do you think those women are any less feminine or any less women because they don't have their hair did, or they have nails on, or they've got eyelashes, or they've had like surgery? No. That's a woman. So, like a woman can't beat a man at sport. Not even the top woman. Even when I was growing up, Navratilova, love her. She was like, oh my god, she made such a difference. She made such a difference. All these people that were gay when I was growing up as a kid in a world where, and most, we had to fight for our rights just for it to be decriminalised so that we weren't penalised and put into mental hospitals, prostitutes. That's, I don't know, it's like, men, she could compete against any of the men, and I don't know, she was a machine actually. She probably still would have kicked the asses. What I'm trying to say is that you can't put women up against men and think that they can beat them in competition, no matter how good they are. I think that's an illusion. That's a false doctrine, people. So, and I think when it comes to trans people, transsexuals, like I've always grown up with transsexuals and drag queens and people around me. I've got no issues with anything like that. But you're not a woman. Just be cool being trans. Just like gay people had to grow their identity and grow their strength and get their empowerment and create a culture for themselves, and that was healthy to us. I wouldn't even say it is all the time healthy, but that is like workable for ourselves. I think the trans culture over time is going to have to do the same thing, and it's going to have to be a fight and struggle for them, just much like it was for us. And the only reason that we jammed anything down anybody's throats in those days when it came to gay rights was because we had all our friends dying of AIDS. And it wasn't some bullshit thing like what we've just gone through for the last 2 or 3 years with C-19 and all the fucking bullshit mandates and the forced injections and all the crazy shit that's been going on with that in the world, and the bankruptcy that's gone on because of the loans that people have had to take out on their countries for this shit. We're not talking about that. We're talking about, I can't remember what we were talking about. women's, that's right, women. Back to women. I think women can save the world. I actually think until women, like you think about it. You think about how many times you're around women where they actually play games and they put each other down and they belittle one another and they backstab one another and they don't give people promotions at work. They don't, like imagine what would happen if women actually came together and supported one another and lifted one another up and taught one another and praised one another and helped one another. I think the whole world could change. We could solve most of the problems that are going on in the world now if we actually just had decent, measurable change within womanhood and within the feminine spirit. If women came together, we could change the world. Because men have run it a while now. And it's dark. It's time to bring the light, I reckon, woman. Men need to be in the edges to support women and give the strength and the power of what the male energy can give women. But women need to move forward now and come together as one and start. Oh wow, that music's really good. Oh, my dog hasn't come on. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about. I just wanted to talk about girls and women. And, women go through a lot. Menopause is hard for women. It's hard for men with women, but it's hard for women. It's hard. There's a lot of different side effects that affect them and affect their health with their actual physical body. And a trans woman won't have to go through that. Have a nice day, everybody. I'm Mac. And I'm actually in bed with my dog. Hey, Luby. Hey. She doesn't really like the camera. Yeah, it's in bed with Mac. It's like I'm doing a homage because it's Madonna's birthday today. I heard. I've been listening to Madonna songs all morning. Happy birthday to the Queen. Awesome. No wonder I've been feeling good today. I always feel good on the 16th of August. It's like a really good a whoosh of power and energy day that comes through. It's rather quite nice. Right. See you, everybody.